Hello everybody and welcome back to part 2 of the display build series. Since last time I've done a little bit of moving plates around, and I found that I've got a large area here over at the end of the head shunt that needs to be filled in. So I was thinking that the most obvious things to put in here are a water crane and the water tower itself, as the locomotive is going to have to be taking on water throughout its shunting duties. They would have had one on hand, and also then at this larger back area I thought that perhaps we could work maybe an allotment utilising some of the plates that were used for the small holding in the previous layout. So I've picked out this plate here and I'm going to reutilise this one to create an allotment that the railway workers are using to grow some veggies and keep chickens in their spare time. So without further ado, driver, if you can move your pannier out of the way, we'll get started. Okay, so the first things that we need to take care of, move these. The signal box here and the track that this is sat on, the plate. These are two smaller plates. And as we have a plate and a half gap in this area, I'm going to take these and reseat the signal box onto a double plate, so a regular 32 by 32 plate, and that's going to sit in this area. This will give me the two plates that I need either to sit at the back, or most likely these two will sit to this front area here. Pop that signal back. So I think that's where they're going to go, and then we'll have two whole plates which will hold the scenic items on them. So first step is I need to strip off the plates which have all of the detail on them so that I can start moving those plates around. The ones that I'm going to be taking apart are the pig pen, which I want to reuse them in the walls in this section for parts of maybe the chicken coop or walls for the actual allotment itself. And the other one that I'm taking apart is the small fishing lake. It's a shame to not have the fabulous Lego ducks in the display somewhere, so I might try and still squeeze these in maybe a much smaller kind of pond area as well. So I'm going to start stripping those plates off, and we'll check back in once that's done. So stripping back this plate with the lake on, I'm suddenly found with the issue of some brittle blue. So it's not just brown plates that you've got to be wary of sometimes. These ones I think are very old. They've been in my Lego collection for quite a while, so it's no major hardship, but quite frustrating when it happens. Okay, and I have those plates sorted, so we'll get these back into position, and then we can start looking at actually putting down some detailed parts. I think the first thing that we need to get into place is the water crane and the water tower, as they're going to kind of help set where the boundary for this little garden is going to be. So we'll pop those down first. So the problem there is that this water crane, really, that might be too close to it, but here's about right, but that's going across plates, so I think that I'm just going to leave that one loose for the time being. It might be at shows I'll have to put this one down and then take it up at the end of the show. But it does mean that we have most of this plate here available to put down everything. So let's start thinking about garden and boundaries. I think that I'm going to need a hard wall between the buildings that are here, so they've got like a bit of an alleyway to them. And I know that I want to use this gate to allow the railway staff to get in and out of the allotment area. So we're definitely going to want that. I think that this wall that I've kind of pulled up would be best to use along this side here. This was the wall that was used for the pig pen, and I've also got this grey wall which has the trees attached to it, and I think I probably want that still at the back so that it gives these trees sat in the back area, as they look quite good. So we'll try adding those in first. There we go. And in the past there was a path here that came down as like an entrance to this area, and I think that might still work quite nicely as a pseudo entrance in this case as well. So next let's try and get a wall kind of in here perhaps, and we'll see whether we've got enough bricks to do that or not. Don't think we want to go any further than that, as we're going to have the water crane sat there. And I think that also kind of makes me want to put the gate further in this direction perhaps. So maybe around here for that gate. I think that could work quite well. So, as this is the front, I want to use more of the masonry style bricks that I have as well, so it'll add a little bit more kind of detail and interest to what's going on. Too high is probably as much as we need, or 2 bricks is as much as we need, because the back wall is also 2 bricks, is what I mean. So that's good. I'm now very low on these, I think these are nougat bricks. This is pretty much all I have left now. So we'll see how far we can get with that. I might just quickly check and see if I have any extras hidden away. So I don't have any more of those bricks, so I think what I'm going to do is just build the wall along this edge, and then I'm going to bring in the fences that I had before and use those. These are just 1x8 put onto 2 headlight bricks stacked together, and they work quite well as fencing to go around. So let's do that and see how we get on. Okay, I've provided this wall all the way to the front of this plate, as it's going to be part of the boundary for this section, and I think I'm going to create another bit of wall here so that it just kind of blocks off the end of the alley, and it stops anybody coming from this alleyway behind the businesses into the railway area. Okay, that works pretty good, and I do have some grey tiles which I think would be best to put on top of here just to finish, like coping stones on top there. Yeah, annoyingly I'm going to have to find a 1x4 tile from somewhere, but I can leave that for another time. For now we'll start putting in the fences and see what that ends up like. And that's not too bad. I think that this area is going to be good. I'd like to extend into the area behind the water tower as well. So I think we should take the fencing and head up in this direction. I don't think I'll go any further along than this. Perhaps like we'll keep the chickens over like here with the hen house maybe, and the main garden area, or main kind of veggie area, can be here. So I'll put this fence up along here. Now it doesn't touch the back of the plate, but it's so close to, I don't think it's really going to matter. You get the idea of what that's kind of implying. So our next step, I think, is going to be starting to figure out where various garden pieces are going to go. So in the previous garden, I had these nice stalky various vegetables. I had the corn on the cobs here, the chili peppers, and the tomatoes, which I think are all perfect kind of candidates for going in this garden. But I also had these grapes, and I don't think that grapes would be the kind of thing that someone's growing in a kind of allotment garden, so I think we're going to drop these from the build. However, I'm just going to take off the grape part itself, and I'll find some other of these Technic, I think these are Technic balls. I'll find some of these to put on. I might even have some green ones. I mean, that would be pretty good. I'd have some green, that could be unripened tomatoes. So I'll see if I can find any of those and we'll go with them. But my thought is that the garden's going to kind of go in a line down this way. So in that direction. And then the paths will come along here as well. Maybe, or maybe the path comes down and the gardens go across. And going across was what they did before, and it kind of worked. So maybe I just go with that same setup. I guess there's no really wrong way. It's just what's the preference. I guess if I go across, then it's going to be easier to see the various fruits and vegetables which are there. So maybe that would be better. Maybe what I need to do first is put the path back in. Yeah, let's do that. Let's put the path back in and then we'll see what happens. I think that's as far back as I'll go with that one. I'm just going to add these 1x4s and sometimes a couple of 1x2s just in between. This will give me somewhere to attach minifigures and other things in there, like I had some rabbits and the sausage dogs, stuff like that. Okay, let's turn the path off in this direction now. And I think what we want to do is get lined up with here. So we're aiming for about there. Okay, that's not too bad. I think that maybe we'll keep the path going off in this direction as well. That will take us maybe to where the chickens are, but I'm not entirely sure what kind of shape the chicken coop is going to take at the moment. So I'm not going to add that for now. I think we will try and finish off getting the veggies in over here. All the ones on the stalks I've shown you. And then I think as well, I've got pumpkins which look really good when they're on display there as well. So just before we put these in, I've gone and looked, and I've managed to find some of the Technic ball pieces so we can have another stalk filled with some nice ripe tomatoes. As these are quite tall, I think that we're going to put these towards the back of the display. So we've got the two tomato plants which are growing, and then we've got one that's a juvenile plant. So I think, maybe someone's trimmed that one off and stuck it in the ground, see if they get a grow from it. We'll leave that one as is, and then I think that we'll add these in front. I'll offset them slightly so they're further in, and that should kind of give a thicker foliage to it, I think. Yeah, I don't mind that. I think that works quite well. And then we'll dedicate this area to the pumpkins. Now, what I've done previously is I'd used these brown tiles going along to create kind of like flower beds for the pumpkins last time. I think I might save these for maybe creating some smaller beds for actual like flowers along here instead this time. And I might just place the pumpkins and then lots of leaves so that they're just growing directly in the ground this time. Okay, let's get these pumpkins put in a nice line. I've got 3 regular pumpkins and 2 of these red pumpkins as well. So I think what I'll do is perhaps the 3 orange pumpkins and then the 2 red ones in front. There we go, I think that does pretty good for our pumpkin patch. Maybe we'll just finish off with one last leaf down there. Nice. Okay, I think that this video is probably getting a bit long with the amount of veggie stuff that's going, so I'm probably going to add to the flower beds just off camera. But I think that the last thing that we do need to add, ready to make this complete, is a brick-built bench, which we'll put right next to the path there. Okay, well thank you for watching this video, and join me again next time when we will hopefully finish off more of this kind of area for the workers. I think we'll try and address the chicken coop at that point and just start adding lots more kind of plants and flora and fauna just to fill the space and make it look more lush and detailed. Thanks again for watching. Drop a like and comment below if you have any ideas you think could go into this year's display layout. Thank you.